Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Anarchy Trading Podcast. Levi and I, we're trying to get ourselves some education. So we've been reading books. Go figure, we're like trying to use our time wisely, right? And recently, I was on like an 18-hour road trip. We were driving up to Montana to visit my wife's family. So let me tell you, it is quite the drive. But I came across this book called Manufacturing Delusion by Buck Sexton. So essentially, this is an ex-CIA, can't even talk this morning, ex-CIA guy who essentially makes this whole argument that mass belief doesn't happen organically. Essentially, that mass belief, well, it can, but mass belief normally is essentially shaped, reinforced, and engineered by nefarious powers, usually. And essentially, he outlines how institutions and power structures use psychological tactics to move large groups of people towards a shaped narrative, which kind of blurs the line between truth and consensus. And as I was reading it, I kind of came across the thought that, wow, this really relates to trading. The fact is, the trading industry is a super manipulated industry. Now, you're going, Jordan, what are you talking about? Because you and Levi always talk about how the market isn't out to get you. Well, no, it's not. But the industry is. There's a difference. There's the day trading industry, the gurus, the teachers, the courses, even the participants. And then there's the actual just market, right? And they're two separate things. And the industry itself, I want to make the case today that it is actually set up to create a false narrative. And maybe how that can be encouraging to you in your day trading journey. Levi, what's up, man?
Hey man, nothing much. Just a new week. We're excited about it. I'm interested in this type of stuff. The thing that I see as the main, one of the main problems with the industry is that the success in day trading is viewed through a different lens than I think a lot of other things are. So you'll hear the question, you'll hear the stat a lot that hey, 90%, 95% of day traders aren't successful. Um, we've said that number before. Uh, yeah. Um, but most people aren't successful in anything. Day trading is hard, right? Yes, we've told you that. We just did an episode on that. 5 reasons you should not day trade. And then we did 5 reasons that you should day trade. But day trading is hard, but it's not all that different than a lot of things. Yes, success is a minority. I mean, big surprise. Look around you. um, um, the only danger comes when you start buying into these things that you're talking about, and that I'm really looking forward to hear. Um, Really, if you just look at this as another kind of skill that is difficult, of course, success is rare. Success is always rare. I think that can help give you a little bit of a safety net from some of these kind of mass delusions.
Yeah, for sure. And, it kind of takes me to my first point, right? So the first point from the book was essentially in order to manipulate a population, someone has to essentially make repeating lies until they become true. So essentially, if a government is trying to manipulate a population, they're going to make that population or that group of people repeat lies until they become a truth. We could think about these a lot of things, but we'll try not to get political today. But I can think of quite a few examples of that. I mean, we're thinking about COVID. I think we can all use that example, no matter which side of the spectrum you fall on. We were told we were told that, hey, if you don't wear a mask, you're going to get COVID, or you're going to do this, everyone's going to die. Well, at this point in time, we're all getting COVID every few months, every year. Someone COVID goes around. No one's wearing masks. Everyone knows that honestly, if you're not a really old person and frail, you're probably fine. But in 2000, in 2020, that we were told the lie and everyone was made to repeat the lie and to essentially cause mass hysteria, which is point two, right? So people, they use fear to override rational thought. So you combine that, you repeat lies, create fear, and then you get a population or a people that's easier to control. People are afraid. They're staying at home. They're doing what everyone tells them to do on the radio or on the TV. And we see the same thing happen in trading. I mean, we see it all the time, right? If you log on to YouTube, Instagram, Discord, whatever it is, you're going to be seeing lies repeated everywhere, right? If you went on Discord, you would think every single person on the internet was a successful day trader if you went on to onto Discord or social media, right? And the fact is that just isn't the case. So when you hear this repeated over and over again in ads and videos that anyone can day trade, well, or everyone's successful. Let me put that way. We've already talked about anyone can day trade. That's true. But everyone's successful. Ignore that. The fact is, like, if you hop on to the Discord channel for Top Step, they have tens of thousands of users on any daily basis. Do you know how many of their users are actually been paid out? This isn't even like this is just saying paid out users. How many paid out users do you think Top Step has? It's only like 800 out of
Oh,
their tens of
I don't
thousands of
know.
users. It's 800. Like if you go on their Discord channel, like there's more obviously, but on their Discord channel, they have 800 paid out users. That's it. Um, so having this belief that everyone other than you is trading successfully and making a bunch of money is just a lie, and it's causing you to have fear and anxiety and feel like you don't know what you're doing. And that's something that is being done to control you. Because guess what? If you feel like you're the only one, you're going to keep putting money into challenges. You're going to keep spending money every single day to become that other one. It's essentially to create a gambling mindset because you feel like you're the only one. You must be able to get it. You're just going to knuckle down. I mean, at the end of the day, let's be honest. That's how Top Step makes their money. That's how any prop firm makes their money is on challenge fees at the really base of everything. And so the industry is incentivized. The brokers are incentivized because the more money you pour in, the more money they're making. So yeah, that's my big one. That's my big starter. What do you think, Levi?
I like that a lot. Kind of manufactured consensus is a big one, and that's why like there's a lot of um like you said, if you go online, the story that comes out looks a lot different than reality. And that's a big deal. And you feel like you're falling behind. You feel like, oh, I've traded for 3 years and I'm still making money. I'm the crazy one. No, you're not. Which is again why I started this whole thing by kind of trying to give a little bit of a reality check, a little bit of context to that, to this fear. Because people get fear, people get depressed. And I want this episode to be encouraging to people because the fact of the matter is this kind of fear is meant to just keep you coming back to the well and getting you afraid and
Well, it's to make
depressed
you
and
easier to
start
control.
YOLOing
It's
stuff.
it's it's to yeah, it's to make it it's to make you easier to control and to essentially spend more money before you're ready.
Yeah. Here's my course. I'll teach you how to do it. Buy another easier uh trading combine. Oh, here's a trading combine that you can pass in one day. Oh, there's less safety nets around it. This will definitely get you. It's because you can create this manufactured kind of world and kind of ramp that fear up and get people into a bad spot. Again, going back to kind of to addressing fear, you mentioned fear. This is how a lot of people are controlled. Well, it's how everybody's controlled, right? We are controlled by fear. Um, and you can see that constantly, right? You see this stuff like this pops up all the time in the real world where people will start, people get afraid of stuff. You ask for, hey, what's the actual reason behind that? What's the actual proof behind that? And nobody can give you an answer. It's just and they'll immediately start getting angry at you. If you ask for proof of something, this happens all the time. It happened during COVID, it happens during a bunch of other stuff. Just start asking yourself, hey, what things can I not say? Hey, show me the proof of that, because otherwise people will get mad. There's tons of things, and I'm sure you could think of stuff right now off the top of your head. They just popped into your brain. What things could I ask somebody? Hey, what's the proof of that? And they would get angry. There's plenty of things, including in day trading, right? Hey, what's the proof that you need to? There's like specific techniques that work. Hey, what's the proof that candlestick patterns work? Hey, what's the
There is none, by the
proof
way. In
that
case
you
you've missed
should
that
be
episode, there are none.
there are not. What's the proof that you should be trading longer time frames rather than shorter time frames? That shorter time frames are more dangerous. Well, like, start asking you those questions, and you'll get yelled at in in most in many contexts in day trading world. So anyway,
Well,
and
that
that's the thing that I think we need to address. And if you can keep that keep things rational, that can kind of help fight against that.
yeah, and I think that takes you to my last point, just for brevity today, is the fact that you mentioned asking for proof. Well, the other way that that people are controlled is through essentially marginalizing or silencing the opposition, right? So silencing the opposition. Well, great way to control. If there's no dissent and there's no one else questioning, then again, you're going to feel like you're the crazy one, right? And so that is the same thing that we see in trading, right? Like if you bring up, it's like, well, why do we trade on shorter time frames, or why do you scalp versus take a long, trading on 4 hour candles, or why do you say that, it's going to take years and years and years and years to become a good trader? Well, the fact is, questioning the status quo is discouraged if you want to control things. And we see that with in the Discord channels, right? If you question, it's like, oh, well, this or that, or why is this? Then a lot of times, even you'll have the whole group pile on to you, even though we know the fact is that 99% of them are not successful traders. Um, but the fact is, they're still out there, acting like they are the experts, and they're acting like you're the crazy one. If you just post a journal picture of you, of that you traded for that day, you're going to have a million. If you do that on a public trading forum, you're going to have a million people tell you why did something wrong and why you failed. Well, you didn't look for this order block down here on the fifth candle that happened at the 50th second of the New York Open on the 13th of Friday, and they start going into all this stuff. Well, the fact is, that's just all lies, smoke, and mirrors, right? It's just people trying to posture themselves or essentially marginalize you as a trader, right? So ignore it, right? And that's why Levi and I started the podcast. That's why we started our Discord channel. Discord channel is starting to grow, guys. We've got 10 or 12 people in there already. So feel free to come on over. We post daily about our trading journals in there, hold each other accountable to overtrading, revenge trading, whatever it may be. Come join. It's a great way to stay accountable without that marginalization, right? No, we're not talking about money in there. We're simply posting our journals and did we follow our rules? And, if we didn't, what are we going to do to fix it? So little shameless plug there. Join the Discord channel. Link is in the description. And look forward to seeing you next week. But yeah, stay safe out there. And I guess I'm kind of closing it without Levi's final thought. But yeah, just wanted to plug in our Discord there.